What is happening, boys and girls? Jim here, you know the channel name. Today is Tuesday, December 19th, 2023, and we've got the Trx6 out today. Been a while since this vehicle has been ran, probably close to a year. I seen it sitting on a shelf. It looked kind of lonely, and I said, you know what? Let's take her out on the adventure course and see what she's all about. So we've got the Trx6 out here running on 3S Electron Pro 5200 milliamp 3S LiPo. I've got my Trx4 Bronco out here as well, the Sunset Bronco, with a set of tracks on it. She's all acclimated and ready to go. This guy's been acclimated as well. Put these guys out here about 10 o'clock this morning. It's currently right around 4:30 in the afternoon. We also have my Axial SCX-10.3 early Ford Bronco out here with plans on taking this one back out. Today we removed the Falcon Wild Peak 1.9s in favor of a set of Red Cat Gen 8 Interco IROCs. Took the tires right off the rims, removed the Wild Peaks, put the IROCs on using the Axial foams. So not using the Red Cat memory foam, using the Axial black tire foams on these guys so they're not affected by the temperatures. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but if you have a Red Cat Gen 8 and it has the memory foams in the tires, put those memory foams in your freezer for about 5 minutes and then try to squeeze them. You almost need a hydraulic press to squeeze those guys. They get hard as a rock. So we're running a set of Axial foams in here so we're not affected by the temperature. The black foams with the Red Cat tires on the Axial wheels should do better. Much more open tread pattern compared to those Falcon Wild Peaks. All right, let's get the Trx6 out here and see what she's all about. Now we're going to start out in roughly the same location we did with the last few videos here and drive our way in. Right now I've got all the differentials unlocked. This truck has been modified slightly. The body has been lifted. Different front bumper on there. RC 4-wheel drive Trailfinder 2 front bumper. RC 4-wheel drive Warren 9.5. I take that back. RC 4-wheel drive Warren 8274 winch under the hood. Dual winch fair leads. Keep the winch line from snagging on the body. And a custom rear bumper on the vehicle as well. Making our way through the snow. No problem so far. Which I really didn't expect too much problems out of this vehicle. Tires and wheels, we're running a set of Proline 1.9 Super Swampers with a set of Boom Racing 1.9 Sandstorm Crate aluminum wheels. Once again, this vehicle hasn't been ran in a while. I'd say about a year. Once again, our brother's vehicle, so I rarely get a chance to drive it. But he granted me permission today, and we're going to give her hell, as we usually do. Making our approach into the adventure course. See that custom winch fair lead on the front end. Once again, 8274 under the hood. Making our way in towards the podium. Oh, little peeling going on there on the left side, open diffs. Passing through the gate, we're going to go ahead and go straight and see if we can climb up this hill with our open diffs. Just creeping, crawling, and doing a whole lot of spinning right there. We'll lock up our front, reapproach. We're going to have to lock them all up in order to get any kind of headway on this hill. Center axle not spinning on the driver's side, spinning on the passenger side, I assume. Now lock that up again. Here's our back axles. And we're just spinning. Well, we did a little bit better with the Axial SCX-10.3 early Ford Bronco and the dirt track deep woods on it. We're able to climb up this hill a little bit easier, that's for sure. Dragging our back bumper. Approach is just a little bit too strong here. Just a little bit too strong on the approach. The Trx6. Get it on a slight diagonal, we might be able to get that, take away that angle a little bit. If we can get in there. Nope. I think it's going to take 3S persuasion to get up this hill. Not so much, really. There we go. We made it up and over. Not so easy with the Trx6. I definitely expected more out of this vehicle, that's for sure. Alright, let's continue along with our normal path on the course. We're just going to keep our differentials locked at this point in time, I think. Spinning our tires on this first hill. Probably drag in the back end. We're just taking too much pressure off that center axle on the approach. Have we made it? Well, we didn't quite make it. We're snagged on the belly pan. Trx6s are fun, but they are not indestructible either. They are not foolproof. Sometimes I want to say that the Trx4 is actually a little bit more off-road capable than the Trx6. It's nice having 6-wheel drive, no doubt about it, but there's times when a 4x4 is better. And we finally made it over. Had to hit it diagonally. Probably have to hit this one diagonally as well. Yeah, getting snagged on the chassis. Not doing it straight on. No doubt about that. I might need a hand of God if we're not careful here. There we go. We made it back out. Awkward angles. The side skirt this hill and go around the outside edge. Kind of cheated a little bit there. And making our approach to the frog pond. Rocky approach on the frog pond here, dirt on the last few sections. We're just getting into rock here. Rock buried in snow. Gotta crawl our way in. I love these Proline 1.9 Super Swampers. Relatively large tire, kind of an XL 1.9. They are the XL Super Swampers. They use these tires for the Hyrax carcass. These are the G8 compound, not the Predator compound. We've had these tires for a few years, quite a few years. They actually started out life on my Vatera Twin Hammers before they eventually graduated to the Trx6 with another 2 tires to complete the package, and 2 sets of wheels to complete the package, another set of wheels. He's having some problems here today in the snow. That would be nice if Trx6 made a lift kit for the Trx6. Just a straight up lift kit for it. I don't think they do, but it would be nice if they did. I was thinking about putting one on here, but I think I'm going to have to combine 2 lift kits in order to do it. Hey, we finally made it. It only took a couple of minutes. I think it was, once again, it was easier with the Axial SCX-10.3 early Ford Bronco. Probably even easier with the Wild Peaks on that Axial versus this guy right now with these Proline 1.9 Swampers, which are a lot more open than those Wild Peaks. So we should have a bit more of an advantage with this truck, especially having 6-wheel drive. You would think you'd have an advantage, but throttle persuasion, get it done. We're going over the log bridge, working our way back down the other side into the pits of despair, which are somewhat filled in with snow. But once again, weather did warm up, and we lost pretty much all the snow on the adventure course since our last run. Last run we had a good 14 inches in some places, and now we're down to about 3 to 4 inches, which is okay for the RCs. Perfect for the RC cars. Too deep. Just enough to make life interesting. Temperature is good and cold today. Say mid-20s. I didn't take a look at the thermometer, but definitely good and chilly today. We are doing some spinning with the Trx6. I think we're going to have to be all throttle up this hill. Sorry, Ian, I'm getting your truck muddy. Snow and mud, man, I'm sorry. It's a bad combo. She's not having it. Once again, we do have an 8274 under the hood, so we have plenty of power to pull this truck out if we need to. Only problem is having a place to anchor. The ground is somewhat frozen, so finding a good anchor point is going to be tough to do. I think we're going to have to side skirt this hill a little bit, which is what we're kind of doing right now. We're getting off to the edge. If we can do that even. Come on, baby, claw your way up. Follow this corner around. Get our way back onto the course. Spinning our way in. Spin to win. No, not sin to win, spin to win. We're getting hung up in here. Nice little pocket. Messing with the wheelbase on the Trx6. She is definitely not foolproof. There's no doubt about that. Get a Trx6 and think in the back of your mind, oh, I'm going to be able to go anywhere and everywhere. Places that nobody else can go, I'll be able to go because I have 6-wheel drive. Not so much. Not so much. It has its pros and cons, no doubt about it. I do like this truck. It is a very nice truck. If I were to get one, I'd probably get the Trx6 hauler, since we've already have one Mercedes-Benz. White Mercedes-Benz would be nice. I think a hauler would be next. Well, we made it through there, but there's lots of destruction along the way. Dirt patches showing, and we're just making it around to the other side of the log bridge. Coming out from the log bridge, heading to the log pile. And we're getting snagged. We need just a little bit more open tread pattern on this guy today. The Trx deep woods would probably be doing us a little bit better. We'd probably be doing a little bit better with the deep woods, I should say. Super Swampers, though, are a good all-around tire. But not quite as good as those deep woods. Especially a set of custom trim deep woods. Those are real nice. Making our way through the crappy tire section here and old filled in tombstone area. Really? Having trouble, eh? Well, we'll be getting the axial Bronco out with those Interco IROCs. The Red Cat IROCs, and we'll see how that does. Compared to its last run with the Trx Deep Woods, which was pretty good. Especially compared to how it did with the Falcon Wild Peaks. And we're getting snagged. Just to put things into perspective, when we had the axial out here with the Falcon Wild Peaks, it took us an hour to get from up here at the starting point all the way into that same area that we just traveled, around this corner, and right up to this next hill. It took us an hour to get there. When we changed out to the dirt track with Deep Woods, it took us 14 minutes to get there. So, huge difference in tires as far as vehicle performance. It'll be interesting to see how it does with the Interco IROCs. The snow depth has changed out here since then. The snow consistency has changed. Everything has changed. But it's still going to be interesting to see how it does. We get a little crossed up here on this rock. Rocks, plural. Sneaking our way through. Still crossed up though. The Trx4 Bronco with the long travel lift kit, minus the lift block on the front, using our original servo mount and not the one that came with the lift kit, so we have full articulation with our front axle. And the 2.2 mudslingers did pretty good out here in the snow. Definitely doing a lot better than this is, that's for sure. Bronco with tracks on it, another difference there. The Trx6 with tracks makes a huge difference as well. I'm getting a little snagged up on this guy. Walk around to the other side, see what we're looking at here. Hey, we continued on. Now, if I wouldn't have walked around the corner and recorded that whole little bit there, you guys might have thought that I was pulling some shenanigans there. And maybe possibly gave the truck a helping hand, but nope, she made it on her own. Only difference was that we changed our position with the camera. Just like this. Next storm damage area. Don't know if it's going to make it through here or not. Real storm damage area. Not very willing. Not very willing. Heading into the tree stumps and over to the tombstones. You're in the tree stumps right now, a short section about as long as the truck itself. Bunch of logs, 1.5 to 2 inch in diameter, driven into the ground about 18 inches with only a few inches sticking out. Simulated tree stumps. Relatively close proximity, it's a good axle snagger most times. And we seem to make it through okay. That's pretty much the only area that we've made it through all right. That was the tree stumps right there. Not bad on that section. As we make our way into the tombstones. The deadly tombstones. Clay bricks, buried at opposing angles. Very hard on your truck. No matter how many times I say this, I can't emphasize that enough. Downright deadly on some vehicles going through here. Depending on the season, right now, not too bad. Snow in between the bricks, so we made it a little bit easier. Coming up to the Rolly Brick Hill. First Rolly Brick Hill. Ground clearance issues there on the back, dragging our bumper. Coming into this one. We were able to make it up this with the Trx6 Bronco and the 2.2 Mudslingers. We made it partially up with the Axial SCX 10.3 early Ford Bronco and the 1.9 Trx6 Deepwoods. Couldn't make it up hardly at all with the Vulcan Wild Peaks on that Axial. We were spinning our tires on the bricks, getting our bumper snagged on a stick back here. Sorry, Ian. Scratching my body, buddy. We might not be able to make it up this hill. Frozen bricks. Six-wheel drive 3S, and she's not having it. Well, let's try second gear. Make sure we're in before we hit. Roll on the power. Oh, she's going for the shortcut path and having trouble with that as well. These bricks are sitting at different angles, so we can see what we're looking at here. We have one brick right here, another one right there, and they kind of shift. So this one over here on this side is lower, this one up here is a little bit higher. These two right here are curving this way, the other two are curving the opposite way. So we're going over a radius and then into a hole and then up and over another radius. Makes it very difficult to get traction. Especially when it's frozen brick. I don't think speed's going to get it done today. Nope, not going to have it. Switch it back to low. And we'll take the shortcut path. Maybe, if we can make it through. A little spinning, and we made it. And we have a few sticks down on the course, I see. More dead man. Yes, Kevin Breaker. There is all kinds of dead men up here. There's one right there hanging in the tree. There's another one right over here hanging into this other big tree up here straight in front of us. There's another monster right there hanging across. They're all over the place, man. It's just a matter of time as to when one of these might come down and land on your head. Or on your face, rather, and possibly break your nose like it did with me. Right on the side. That was the wrong side. This is the side right here. You can see the scar starts at the top of my nose and goes all the way down to the side of my nostril right there. Watch out for falling tree branches once again when you're out in the woods. I got lucky with mine. It fell from the top of the woods, or top of the trees, about 85, 90 feet up easily. No lie, no BS on that. We could chop a tree down and measure it for you. Just got lucky that it hit me in the nose and broke my nose. If it was an inch or two to the right, it would have went right through my right eyeball and speared my brain. No doubt, no lie. It would have been it. Would have been killed by a stick while out in the woods. Now, I'm pretty sure we're not going to make it up this rock hill since we have so much trouble on that rolling brick hill making our way in here. I can start to show the angle of the hill, but I think that's about as far as we're going to get. We might roll it in here. Once again, cold temperatures, know when to hold them, know when to fold them with the gas. You don't want to break anything. Drivetrain parts, plastic parts, things get brittle in cold temperatures. Metal gets brittle, plastic gets extremely brittle. The colder it gets, the more brittle things get. More fragile they become. No, she's not making it up the hill. She's wanting to go around the outside. Wanting to, maybe, possibly. Sliding off the edge of that hill. Drifting to the right. Our left. They're making a right turn. Steady momentum. Come on, baby. Getting into some rocks. Oh, we might be done for. We might be done for. Oh, we made it. We made it in. Around the outside. We didn't try that with the other trucks. Continue our way along here. Make a left turn and go up this hill if we can. If we can. Watch out for that step on the right. It's a doozy. That's the one right there. Don't go over that edge. I'll make our way around the corner here. Oh, we made it. Sorta, kinda. We're on top of it, but we're not quite around. We're not quite safe yet. Striking a pose, holding that angle. And we're going over the edge. Counter steering back up a little bit, see if we can straighten out a little bit. Teetering on that middle axle. There we go. And we made it. Oh, we're drifting back and sliding off the side. Oh, she's sliding. Hold on to your butts. There we go. Coming back down the other side. Slowly but surely. Slipping and sliding. Which way to go? We go up the rocky switchback right in front of us. Go underneath the brick bridge and try to climb up this other rock path over here, or up this other side over here. Probably try to keep this somewhat short. Push an hour on the video if we can. Have to go back in and warm up and let my phone charge up before we come back out here for our next run. Which will probably be in the dark, since the sun is dropping fast. Let's make our way over to the switchback. I guess we're kind of heading that way. Maybe. Possibly. Fight our way along. Oh, my nose is running. My nose is running better than the truck in the snow. Trx6, definitely not foolproof. All I need is a Trx6 and have no problems going anywhere. We're in Trx6 6-wheel drive, all locked up. 1.9 XL Super Swamper is larger than the stock tires that come on this vehicle. And we are having some problems. Well, it's not from lack of power. Come on, baby. Yeah, motivation is your friend. Momentum is your friend, not motivation, momentum. The other M word. Gotta claw our way up around this corner. Come on, baby, you can do it. Momentum. We made it. Sorta. We're up in this fence. Come on, baby. Keep on digging. Keep on going. Alright, last time we came through here, once again, this was pretty gnarly through here, all dug out and chopped up. It hasn't changed. It's just full of snow. So I'd imagine it's going to be a pretty radical run trying to get this truck through here. Coming into our first little mogul, we're getting snagged up a little bit there. Dropping into the pits of despair. Filled with snow. So they're going to be the deceiving pits of despair. You don't know they're there until you're in them. Hey, not bad. Relatively easy through that section. Next couple hills are going to be downright nightmare. These hills gave my brother's Bronco a heck of a time. He rolled over a few times in here, had to get pulled up a couple times. With this lifted TRX4 Bronco and the 2.2 Swampers. Don't know if we're going to make it or not. Probably not, that's my guess. Not very optimistic at the moment. The hill is definitely steep, there's no doubt about that. There is leaves and sand and everything else buried underneath that snow. Spinning on leaves, right there. I don't think we're going to make it, boys and girls. We can sit here and play with this and fight for 10 or 15 minutes, but I think the end result is that we're not going to make it. We're having trouble just getting up to it, getting enough speed to, we can't get enough speed to get a run. That's the moral of the story. That's what I'm trying to spit out. We can't get enough speed to even get a decent approach. So if we can't get an approach, how are we supposed to get over it? With a winch. Alright, well, we got hung up right there. I think we're going to need a handy guy to get out of here. Yes, we could use a winch. It's tough to find an anchor point here in the snow. So we'll give it a helping hand. And I don't think we're probably not going to be able to make it through this stuff either. After helping it up the hill. Give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a try. These are some steep moguls filled with snow. We're fighting our wheelbase, fighting our axles, that third axle, trying to get through this stuff. We made it. Going back into some rocks here, coming out of that gnarly area. Just try to shortcut our way through the middle. Don't ask too much out of this truck. We could try the log bridge, but it's probably not going to make it. Not with these tires. And not with this snow. Yes, 6x6s once again aren't necessarily better than a 4x4. Most situations you could probably go further with a 4x4 than you can with a 6x6. Most situations. At least that's what I've learned out here on the adventure course. You can get further with a 4x4 than you can with a 6x6. We're not doing too bad though on the log bridge. Having that extra set of tires is helping us a little bit over here. This area is pretty sketchy year round. Different angles on these logs, different sized logs, no rhyme or reason on their placement. Definitely easier with larger diameter tires. We're going to saw our way through here, switching back and forth. Leverage our axles over these logs. Oh, we're going to leverage our truck right off the edge of the bridge here. Other than the winch on this vehicle and the bumper on the front, and the body lift and the wheels and tires, the truck is relatively stock. Stock motor, stock steering servo, stock ESC, stock transmitter, all the original equipment. We put a Trx6 complete BEC kit in this vehicle from day one before we even turned on the truck. Put that BEC kit in here so we wouldn't have, so we could give our steering servo a little bit more of an advantage with more power. I gotta say that's a huge improvement, and I highly recommend that with any Trx6 TRX4 is to put a Trx6 complete BEC kit in that vehicle before you drive it. If you want your steering servo to last a little bit longer, there's the way to go. My TRX4 Bronco without the BEC kit, the steering servo lasted about 3 or 4 days before it went out. My brother's Bronco, it lasted about 2 or 3 weeks before the servo went out. Put the BEC kit in there, they last a lot longer, giving them a positive 6 volts of electricity. Compared to the lower voltage that the ESC, the receiver, is trying to give it. Now, we've been running the stock servo in this one since day one with that complete BEC kit, and we haven't had a problem with it. Same thing with my niece's TRX4 Sport. We put a complete BEC kit on that in day one, and no problems with the steering servo. So that should tell you something. Either Trx6 made some improvements to that steering servo, the 2075, or putting that complete BEC kit in there made all the difference in the world, giving it a positive 6 volts of juice. And we're making it. We're making it up. That's pretty tough to do in the wintertime. 6x6 advantage there. Truck across the bridge and head down the other side. Well, do we head down the other side or do we go that way? Maybe we should go that way. Tough to make it around this corner. Trying to negotiate between the holes on this bridge without losing a tire. Down inside one of those gaps. Make that right turn, and she's pushing off the side of the bridge. Oh, come on, baby. Stay on the bridge, stay on the bridge. We're sliding off. We're sliding off. Oh, yeah, there she goes. She's coming off the bridge. Always cool to see the snow falling down through the bridge. Struggling to make it. Tires definitely do better on the logs in the wintertime than Trex, I can tell you that. Trex and logs don't get along, especially with a Kyosho blizzard. Alright, we're off the bridge, up to that first tree root. That's impossible to get over, so we definitely have to go around that. Make our way up towards Old Stump. Maybe, possibly. A whole bunch of tires spinning along the way, I'm sure. Getting slightly off course coming into Old Stump here. Here comes the hill. Long vehicle. Boy, black just absorbs the camera light, doesn't it? Black vehicles absorb the camera. Absorb the flash. This is where the white Trx6 would be a lot nicer to film in fleeting daylight versus a black vehicle. Color makes a difference when it comes to filming. Color makes a huge difference. We have to go around this hill, which is what we're trying to do now. We're spinning our way around, spinning our way back into it from the other side. Cattywampus there. Come on, baby, full tilt. Go, come on, baby. Not having it. We're getting a little crossed up. Try not to move our camera in anticipation with the truck moving. Oh, he's not having it. He don't like it. Too steep. Too slippery. S baby. 2S. Wouldn't get as far probably. Need that 3S persuasion. We're snagged on our middle axle. There we go. A whole lot of tire spinning. Real life version of spin tires, not the video game version. Kind of like a video game since you're using an RC car, but a little bit funner than the video game, really. Just wheeling in real snow, real sand versus video game sand and snow. That has parameters. This has Mother Nature's parameters, not some video game programmers' parameters. Oh, we just lost our high speed there on our ESC. We might have overheated it just a little bit there. Is she flashing red? Oh yeah, I see a slow red flash in there. She's not liking it. Either we have a low battery or we're overheating our ESC. A little bit too much for the old Trx6. Too much boost, too much burst. It's wide open right there. Lost our burst. Cold day, 3S battery. Warmed up our battery, should probably have a little bit more juice in it. Again, this is an ESC situation. Our ESC is flashing red, so she's overheating. And that 3S punch and that 550 trying to push 3 sets of axle versus 2. Probably overheating a little bit quicker than what a Trx4 would, just because it's under a little bit more of a load. Alright, well, we'll snake our way back out of the course here. Somewhat decent run with the Trx6. We'll make our way across and through the adventure course. And back out towards the podium. We're crisscrossing the course for the newcomers here. We're on the course right now, and we're going off course. Now we're back on the course. and about to go off. Cutting across the course here, right there, on and off, and back on again, and back off again. Right there, we are off the course. Make our way back onto the course again, over here behind the podium. And I think we're going to have to go right through the middle of this little pit and around that circle. I don't think we're going to be able to make it through that pit. Excuse the far off filming. Man, it is cold today. Very cold. My fingers are frozen. My toes are frozen. Been out here for maybe 45 minutes so far. Trying to mosey around this corner here. Keep the truck on course at the same time. Very tight corner. Especially to try to get a 6x6 around. There's no doubt about that. On some smooth rocks right there with the front end. We rolled the axial Bronco off this hill a few months ago on those rolling rocks. And we're making it. Tight squeeze with the 6x6. Back towards the podium. And on out we go. Baby. You can make it up the hill. That's wide open. She is in trouble. Oh, I'm in trouble wobbling around over here. Well, we might not be able to make it out of here without a hand of God, really. She is full tilt. ESC is overheating. And we're getting something. Trx6 is definitely not foolproof. Once again, those of you who wonder what is better, a Trx4 or a Trx6, well, in most situations, a Trx4 is better. More options too for you people out there who can only afford one vehicle. Trx4 has more options. You can do more to it than what you can do with Trx6. As far as upgrades and tracks and things of that nature, Trx4 is a better way to go. Well, we're not going to make it, boys and girls. It's sad to say. She needs a hand of God up this hill. Just a partial hand of God, maybe two. To make it through the podium. And that camera locked up. Beautiful. Love it. And there we are, pulling out of the podium. And there we go, boys and girls. That concludes our run with the Trx6 Mercedes-Benz. Once again, I haven't had this girl out in a while. She's been sitting on a shelf for at least a year now. Regardless, she did okay. I want to say the Trx4s probably do a little bit better once again. But not bad all in all. Well, that's going to do it, boys and girls. Very much appreciated for y'all sticking around and watching the video. As always, questions and comments are always welcome. And we will see you all on the next one. Thanks again.